The idea that we need to protect women's or female sport from other women and females is itself inherently discriminatory. No testosterone policy will ever work. They should respect an athlete's legally recognized sex or gender.
It's Macho.
And I'm Savery.
And you're watching.
And you're watching Winks for the Nobody. Join us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Share us and hit that like button as we break down politics and culture Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me say the politically correct term. The transgender female athlete named Lia Thomas, who transitioned from male to female, has been smashing, killing, destroying, annihilating women's sports.
To provide a definition for the word woman.
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
Somebody come pour me some tequila. One more time. Well, bitch.
Specifically,
Swimming. My man's like Mike Phelps now. She's like the Mike
watch your
Phelps.
mouth, buddy. Yo, you trying to...
She's the Michael Phelps of, of swimming right now for the women's swimming meets.
She won first place. So quick synopsis: she won first place NCAA Penn State. She broke some records. I'm not sure if it's an all-time record. I don't know what she's ranked nationwide. I know she's won in Penn State. I don't know what she's ranked nationwide, but the point is she didn't get no first place.
She's definitely well, she never from what I heard, she never really won as competing as a man.
I honestly feel sorry for women in sports right now because everything is on the line right now. Imagine working your ass off for most, if not all of your life to achieve a goal of winning a sport that you love, only to have a biological man say, hey, you know what? This is who I am. This is my reality. And let me preface with, I really don't give a fuck what you want to do. But once you start doing dumb shit, I'm going to call you out. So you transition, and I don't know why you transition. That's your personal decision. Do whatever you want. That's your mental illness to deal with. Now, don't take this transition as in I am an actual woman and I can go compete on the same level as biological women. You cannot. Men are naturally stronger, especially if you're training in the same sport. Usually the men have a physical advantage, which is why there are divisions in sports, right? Exactly. Otherwise, the men and women would just play together and everybody would just compete and get the jobs that they want and need, right? But that's not reality. So I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that William Thomas, who is now Lia Thomas, somehow belongs in women's swimming and earned the title of the NCAA champion. No, you did not. And I love that Ron DeSantis called that shit out and did not acknowledge him, her, whatever. Here's the thing. Transgender people need their own motherfucking league. Go do what you want, live how you want, get all the surgeries you want, take all the hormones you want, live your best life. But get the fuck out of women's sports. There's no place for you there. You know you have a physical advantage going into that. And then acting like, oh my God, I won. I'm so surprised. Of course you know you fucking won. You're a whole fucking man. Let's call it what it is. Now you can think whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. But you got a nutsack and you got a dick. You're a dude. Period. Now, what your brain tells your body may be different, but you are what you are. Here's the thing, it's not phobic, it's not is. Again, I don't care. But there's a certain shit that I'm not going to sit up and be like, yeah, I'm going to go along and get along. Because what happens if one day my daughter starts to compete? And then, here comes Billy who decides, well, I can't really win as a man, so I'm going to do this transition shit and become a woman. And now you robbing my daughter of the opportunity to be great because you want to infiltrate her world because you can't succeed in your own world. You can't survive amongst the men, so now you want to go to the women because you know you have a greater chance of winning there. Now, I'm not saying that's what Leah did, but I'm saying it is an opportunity for other people to do that. It's fucked up. Transgenders need their own league. Cut the fuckery.
So getting straight to this, how do you feel about this, right? Do you feel, right? Let's keep it raw. Let's keep it real. Do you feel like this is fair? Do you feel is really a woman competing with other women? On, to throw political correctness out of the window, like, how do you honestly feel, Macho, about Lia Thomas competing and this whole transgender movement in sports specifically, right? I'm not criticizing trans. Let's forget about, throw that out the window for a second. Let's talk specifically when we talk about sports. Transgender athlete transitioning male to female, female to male, should they be able to compete in the other sport? What do you think about that, Macho?
They have gone public with it, and they're facing opposition from people who say, even though you may feel like a girl, you need to compete against the boys.
And it's completely surreal that I'm that person. Like, I'm just some girl from Victoria, BC. I'm just some girl from Victoria, BC. I'm just some girl from Victoria, BC, who just wanted to race her bike.
Well, I mean, some of the things that I think about, and I'm really concise with this. This is not really something that I think we should really be elaborate on, because again,
Okay.
there needs to be some proper channels that need to be discussed. Not just socially, but just actual litigation needs to actually happen. Um, but I can't help but remember, like, anytime I think about anything with, transitioning people competing in sports, I'm hearing that they're taking, like, either not steroid, excuse me, hormone therapy
Yeah, hormone
to
blockers and stuff
yeah,
like that.
hormone blockers or increase or whatever to raise test levels if they are transitioning from a woman to a man, and vice
Mhm.
versa to lower test levels. Okay, cool. You know what I keep thinking of? I keep thinking of the late 90s, early 2000s, when Jose Canseco released a book and dropping the atom bomb
Mhm.
on MLB, which
Yeah, yeah,
reflected
yeah.
entirely on pro sports. What was that? Steroids,
Mhm, mhm.
right? And so simply what all I keep thinking in my head is this raised the question of fairness in pro sports for men. It was all I mean, we have some of the strict, especially the Major League Baseball has some of the strict rules when it comes to enhancement drugs.
Okay,
And
okay.
now, in society, we want fairness, right?
Mhm.
And in sports, we want merit, but we want fairness in merit, right? We want to be able to compete against somebody who is actually has the natural ability to compete, has the talent, all that stuff. And when you add enhancements, this could affect the way the game is played. So now my question is, does this change sports completely? Should we say everything's game and now just bring back
That
enhancement?
IOC recently released a new set of guidelines for inclusion on transgender and intersex athletes. And I think the guidelines they set forward are very good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if your example with steroids is the same up to the part, right? It has similarity up to the part that it was someone had an advantage because they took steroids, right? But here, this person has a natural advantage on the biological, right? Um, stage, right? Like naturally. So hormone blockers, by the way, I saw Lia Thomas on an interview. She shared hormone blockers.
That's when I started hormone replacement therapy. Well, for trans women, it's a combination of estrogen and testosterone blockers, which basically gives you female puberty.
Her time decreased, right? Her muscle density, so that's kind of the argument they're using. But even at that, she's competing at a very high level because naturally men and women are just different. So down the road, this is what's dangerous about this. To answer your question, if we start thinking that this is okay, sports will forever change in the next decade. And women, especially women, this is what's sad about this, right? The women fighting for this is just sad to me because men and women are just different. Doesn't mean this is not about men being better. It's about the reality. For example, a 160-pound boxer cannot fight with another 160-pound female boxer. It's just not fair. bone density is different, biologically strength is higher. These are things I'm not showing that men are better, right? This is where the conversation goes. Some people think this is to prove that men are better. No, this is to prove that we're just different. Since the beginning of time, there's competitive on females against females, male against male. Are there females out there can compete at the same level, with the same weight, same? Yeah, of course. There's always exceptions, but for the most part, if you line up 10 females on one end, right, who are 150 pounds, 10 females on another end, 10 males, 10 females, each on one end with the same bone density, not bone density, with the same weight level and all that, it's going to be an unfair advantage on the male side, right? Just naturally, right?
I
So
mean,
I just think it's dangerous to go down this road.
I think so too, and I think they're gonna have to deal with this properly, though, right? Not just react, right? We knew, okay, trans people were starting to make headway, right? And again, the reason why I make the comparison is that there's still some altering happening, right? Just to go back, just to reiterate my point, there's still altering happening to someone's body. And we're not competing anymore with someone who is naturally the way they are. They've transitioned. They've manipulated their body, which is what steroids essentially does. It manipulates your body. It either enhances you, has faster recovery, or it gives you more strength. Either way,
Yeah.
it's still something altering your body. And we were going in the direction of, being natural in competing so that no one has an edge, because just because you took steroids didn't mean that you were better than anyone automatically. It just means that you might have an edge based on the same level of training that you put in like everybody else, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we need to deal with this properly. That's all I'm saying is we to that last point is we need to deal with this properly. It shouldn't go like the only thing that I would say is when Ron DeSantis was like, yeah, we would take the award away from Lia Thomas and give it to the second runner-up.
So in Florida, I'm going to be later today because this is a Floridian who I think deserves to be recognized. We're going to be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle.
Right? I don't think that's appropriate either, right? We need to deal with this appropriately and deal with it through the right channels where we come up with the rules, right? We negotiate these things and we bring the athletes into it. Maybe take a survey, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So no one gets targeted, right? Figure out the rules of the game first and then compete in a specific way. Because again, just by reaction, if you just react to something and then just say, no, well, we're not going to do this, or on the flip side, then turn around and say, well, you don't accept me because I'm trans. No, that's not even the case. The point of the matter is we're adding a different element to these sports now. So how do we navigate through it? And I think that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. So let me give my last take here on DeSantis. I do think we need extreme measures like that, right? So I'm going to take a different stand for you. Let me tell you why I think we do need these extreme measures, because you're fundamentally changing the fairness of the game, right? Remember, we had something called women's sports, right? We had something called. So if you fundamentally don't believe that it's really fair, it's just unfair for many athletes who've been working hard, training hard. So I think you take these extreme stance. Look, I personally don't acknowledge her as the winner. Hey, there's people who are going to call me transphobic because of
the idea that we need to protect women's or female sport from other women and females is itself inherently discriminatory. No testosterone policy will ever work. They should respect an athlete's legally recognized sex or gender.
The transphobic argument in that has no place on what you just said, right? You're not transphobic because you don't think Lia Thomas is the rightful winner. It has nothing to do with her identity.
It has nothing to do with her transition, and then it has everything to do, and that's a great point right there. That right there is where I wanted to go. It has nothing to do with her making a decision to transition. You make the decision. But again, you can't now just affect other people's lives that have been training and these women who've been working hard and biologically, right? I know you're taking hormone suppressors, blockers, and all that, but you're still a man.
They have naturally testosterone within their body, that has been proven to give a physical advantage in sports.
Right.
Sorry to say that, right? And I know this is where it gets difficult, but that's my last point there. So what DeSantis is doing, I think is right because he's protecting women. Women should be standing up for this. I'm gonna say this as
Got
well.
you.
Women
Got you.
don't stand up. Men can only do so much. Women should be protesting.
Knows why we need more female athletes to speak up about this. And so I just kind of want to say to the female athletes in Pennsylvania, don't let anyone silence you. Speak up. Tell the NCAA, your athletic directors, and your coaches that you want fair competition, because doing this is nowhere near as scary as it seems, and the amount of support is overwhelming.
Women should not compete with another person who has transitioned and wants to compete in there. If you really want to fight against this, you can't help that much. Macho DeSantis can even help. Only the competitors who are competing should take a strong stance and say,
but
I am not swimming.
Women are
or
not going to. I'm surprised women are not protesting, but then I'm not surprised because if they do, then they're probably going to be seen as what? Transphobic.
Yeah. So, and if you joined us on our quick take right now on Lia Thomas, man, and you made it through the end, man, we kind of just shared our honest thoughts on what it means to compete, right? Because if you're going through these difficult phases, like Macho shared in our past episode, you have the right to make your decision, do as you please. But these are the real life effects that we got to talk about. Now, what does it mean in the competitive sphere, right? In a competitive sport, right? Can you just what does it mean walking into a restroom? All right, you get to do what you want with your body, but now you have to talk about these repercussion consequences. And we're just trying to be honest with our take where this can lead and the dangers 5-10 years down the road if we don't address these issues and how our reality can change. I will go as far as to say our entire reality can change, But nonetheless, check more info out on Lia Thomas. Give us your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you think. And yeah, we drop episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They premiere at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to like, subscribe, share our channel so more people can join us and see what we're talking about.